Okay, so I'm Clark Kent at Rhode Island Comic Con, and I'm with
My name is Chrissie Zullo.
Chrissie Zullo. So I gotta say, I already follow you on Instagram.
Oh, really?
And I saw your booth, and I was like, oh, I gotta talk to her. You know, I love your stuff. It's amazing.
Thank you so much.
So how did you Obviously, everyone has to start with art.
Right.
So how did you get started?
Well, I was always drawing when I was a little kid. I loved to draw Disney princesses, and then I got into anime, and then I got into comics, and I just kept pursuing it. I went to art school and took it seriously, and I just kind of went from there.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So when you're drawing your art, do you have like a technique, or do you view movies of that character while you're drawing? What's your process?
That definitely helps. I always try to use any reference I can, and then when I'm drawing, I always try to block everything in really simple, and then worry about the details the farther you go into the drawing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So from my understanding, you have done some drawing for other Comic-Cons and everything like that?
Yeah. A lot of my stuff has been on comic book covers. I've done some toy design, and I've done some t-shirts designs and stuff like that.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah,
so what made me fall in love with your artwork was that image of Wonder Woman that you drew, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, that one got passed around online quite a bit.
Yeah,
so that was cool.
Yeah, that's utterly fantastic.
Oh,
I
thanks.
love it.
Yeah, she's one of my favorites.
So how many you do conventions all the time, basically?
Yeah, I probably do 15 to 20 conventions a year,
Wow.
all around the country. Sometimes in other countries. So,
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So what country out of cons was your favorite?
We got to go to England once, and that was really cool.
Oh,
yeah,
that's amazing.
That was probably my favorite.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So do you have any stories for what was your favorite experience at a con? Do you have any stories you have?
I mean, not any one in particular, but I love just traveling and meeting new people and seeing the cosplay and just getting to interact with people that follow my art online.
Right.
And yeah, just all the experiences I really appreciate.
Well,
So,
that's
yeah.
awesome. Well, obviously you got social media accounts, so we're gonna let you show it for the audience.
Basically, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, DeviantArt, and everything is just my name. So Chrissie Zullo, ChrissieZullo.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, excellent. Well, thank you so much for this
Thank you,
excellent
Clark
interview.
Kent.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Okay, so I'm Clark Kent at Rhode Island Comic Con, and here we got, what's your name?
My name is Chrissie Uminga.
Okay, see, I wanted you to pronounce that because I feel like I would have botched it,
Okay.
you know. I mean, your artwork is fantastic, I gotta say.
Thank you very much.
So, how did you get started in drawing and in art? And stuff?
Basically, like everyone's story, just drawing as a kid. Went to college, got my degree in painting, and then wanted to do comics and wanted to do illustration, so just started setting up at shows like this and started submitting my work to different, galleries and different publications until, I started to get work, and so far it's been pretty good.
Well, that's awesome. Well, so you started out in painting. So
Yeah.
how was the transition from painting to digital art?
It was difficult because in school I really just learned traditional art, like paint. I tried to stay away from Photoshop and everything, and then I realized this is something I had to learn.
Right.
So it's going out and buying a book, Photoshop for Dummies, and watching a lot of tutorials on YouTube. So it's still I still find myself learning and trying to mimic things I was able to do traditionally, digitally. So it's still a learning process.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. So obviously you've been to a lot of cons. Do you
Yeah.
have a favorite moment or favorite story you have?
Probably my first San Diego Comic Con is one of my favorite memories.
Yeah, that was
just going and hearing about this show and finally experiencing how intense it is, and not intense in a bad way, but just you want to just stay there. It's it's crazy.
Right. It's like Christmas.
Yeah, it's like Christmas for 5 days. And, the show ends at 5, but you go out in the street and the city is still alive till 1 o'clock in the morning with everything Comic-Con. It takes over the whole city. that was awesome. And then, New York Comic Con is a great show.
Right.
So I kind of have really fond memories about kind of every show I've done, but that first San Diego kind of really sticks out.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, that's like the biggest one, so
yeah,
definitely would stick in your brain.
It's a pretty special thing, and every year I look forward to going back, and you're on the plane and you land and the pilot says, "Welcome to Comic-Con."
Yeah.
He knows that everyone's coming in for that show.
That's amazing. So what's your process like while you're drawing?
Oh, man. So while I'm working, I usually have to have something on to watch, like I need a visual distraction, not an audio distraction. So I don't really listen to music or audiobooks. I tried it, but I found myself getting, distracted. So I'll put on a movie that I've seen a bunch of times, or a TV show, or a documentary, and I just let myself listen to that. And every once in a while, I look up to kind of get a break visually. So
do you put it on mute, or do you have it playing?
No, I have it playing.
Okay.
And but you can ask Chrissie. It's stuff I've seen 50, 60 times.
Right.
I can't tell you how many times she's heard me watch The Office over and over again.
Exactly.
It's because it's something I know, and it won't distract me from what I have to do, but it'll help me kind of shut that part of my brain off.
Yeah, I get you. Like if it's a movie you want to see for the first time, you can't really do work.
I'll want to watch, and it won't work.
Yeah, you're solely immense in it. Yeah.
But if it's something I've seen a bunch of times, it's still helpful to have them in the background.
Nice. So do you have any advice for any inspiring artists or anything like that?
I would just say draw every day, draw different things every day. Don't just draw comics, don't just draw people. Learn to draw trees, cars, lamps, phones, backgrounds, because all that stuff is really important when you put it all together. And then before you get too stylized, just learn the basics and get really good at that before you go crazy.
Oh, nice. So obviously you have social media accounts.
Yeah.
So do you want to shoot that out to the audience?
Sure. I'm on Instagram, Uminga720, and Twitter, same thing, Uminga720.
This is Clark Kent at Rhode Island Comic Con, and here I am with
Mai Van.
Oh, nice. So, how did you get? I love your artwork, by the way.
Thank you.
So, how did you get your started in your process?
In my process,
Like digital art here.
Oh well, I studied to be a CG artist. So
Really?
I started working in the film industry, and then I switched to video games.
Oh, really?
And then me
What?
doing independent work has been kind of fairly recently.
That's awesome. So, how did that happen? Like, that we got to go backtrack now. So, how did you get started in videography?
Oh well, I mean, as a kid, I wanted to be a scientist, but then I saw Lord of the Rings in college, and was like, okay, they're having way too much fun. So then I switched to art school, and I really wanted to work in film. So I learned 3D modeling. So that's what I've been doing for the longest. And then I was doing modeling in LA for a while, but then I got kind of tired of LA.
Oh.
I shouldn't say that.
That's all right.
But then I moved to San Diego to be one of my friends were there, and then the game industry was bigger there, so I switched to movies.
Oh, that's awesome. So, can I ask what games you worked on? Am I allowed to?
I worked at PlayStation. So most of the first-party games I worked on.
Oh, that's amazing.
I think the newest one coming out is probably Days Gone.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like we weren't a game development studio; we were an art studio. So we kind of touch every single game.
Oh, I got
but we didn't
you.
develop the whole game. We just did a little help here and there.
Do you still work with PlayStation or like with films today?
I mean, I still work in games, but I quit my job at PlayStation to go full-time freelance.
Right.
And I opened my own company, so I'm developing my own game and my own comic books and books and everything else.
Wow, what game is that?
It's unannounced for now.
Okay,
but
gotcha.
It is a PC game, and it will be like a space simulation.
Nice, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much. Do you have any like advice for inspiring artists out there?
Inspiring. Something that's not cliche. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I think you just make sure you love it.
Yeah.
It is a hard industry to be in.
Mm-hmm.
It's really rewarding, but make sure you really love it.
Alright.
Like don't just be like, oh, that seems like it would be kind of fun.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
it would be easy to burn out.
Exactly.
And take care of yourself. Don't burn out. Yeah, don't burn out.
Right. You got to eat, sleep, and drink it, basically.
Yeah,
You know?
and take breaks. We're terrible with taking breaks, and I should take more breaks too.
So, do you have any social media accounts that we could find you at, or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram and Twitter. Instagram is whisk.art, which is my alias, and then Twitter is just whisk.
Whisk?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Have your back.